The Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirrin Dirt Racing, host of May Mania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirrindirtracing.com.
Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to episode number 180 of the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast. Excited to have everybody along with us for the evening. Got a busy show on deck, talking first with Johnny Gullo. Then we're going to catch up with Tim Clark. Then we're going to finish up with Matt Vern Newcomb, talking about the King of the Ring that's coming up this Saturday in York, Nebraska. Of course, Bash for Cash. It's going to be in Chillicothe, Ohio, at the Ross County Fairgrounds. May Mania just wrapping up at the Golden Spike Arena. What an event it was. Randy Mikowski, Junior Sukut coming away with the win overall in the main event. In that full-size division, Paul Cox and Dan Bolton running away with a win in the truck division, and Danny Ogden pulling what some could argue is an unlikely win in the compact division, but congratulations out to all those guys. Got a couple things that just to follow up on before we talk with Johnny Gullo here to start the show. Number one, I wanted to say a big thank you out to all the folks that supported us on the pay-per-view venture, going out there with Derby Nation. I also want to say thank you to some of the folks that had our backs on Facebook. I saw a number of folks that were looking for free access in terms of Facebook living the event and things along that nature, and saw a lot of posts from our fans and from the Derby community saying, no, don't do it. Don't do that to those guys. It's not necessary. That is something that we should be embracing more as a whole, not because it's us, not because it's anybody else or anything like that. If it's a pay-per-view, respect those guys that are out there trying to do that. We appreciate that support and the respect that you gave Derby Nation as a whole, us, Stirrin Dirt Racing. That was very, very refreshing to see, and we greatly appreciate that. Another big thank you goes out to Leon Rumsey. Leon helped us through a little bit of an issue with the soundboard early in the day. It was a brand new soundboard. Everything seemed like it was good to go, and I made a quick phone call to him out in Kansas, and he helped talk me off the ledge, and everything was good to go there. And then finally, I wanted to make mention of Mark Klein. I know a lot of people want to start battles where there is none. Mark and I have a very good working relationship, and Mark lended us all of his contacts and sent out a mass email, as he's also a producer on Derby Nation, and directly marketed our show at May Mania out to all the contacts that he's amassed through his travels. So that's a huge thank you out to him and having his support and making this show possible and successful. And, of course, Chris Grainer with Derby Nation. It was an awesome venture. We're really, really confident going forward with some of the new stuff that we're trying now. And it was a successful one for us, front to back. Johnny Gullo waiting in the wings here. What do you think? How did May Mania go from your perspective, man?
Well, other than next year I'll pay the heating bill, make sure the heat's on. It was a, wow, what a way to start the season. I mean, it was action-packed, about get out. Couldn't be happier in the way that the drivers drove their asses off. I mean, it was great.
You're starting back over with your streak now. We've got the trucks rolling over again. Unfortunately, the two times we were out there previously, we didn't get to see the trucks go over, but there was one really earlier in the truck heat.
Yeah, and there was almost another, but there were so many trucks that I think they stopped each other from rolling over because they were hitting each other on the downside. So that was an exciting heat. I know you almost had a car in your lap. What was it, Heat 1 right out of the bat? I think you had one up on your lap.
Heat 1 out of the blocks, and it hit the camera. It ended up getting to the camera, and it jacked that thing up pretty good the way that we wanted it to. But on the plus side, it survived. We were able to use it again through the rest of the night. That was really cool. It was the one of the white and black cars, I believe. 33 was
33, right?
Yeah, I think it was that Pettit?
Yes.
Steve Pettit got up on the wall there, and we had one of the sticks that were taped to the A post of the cars, and they would break them off easily. We put it in between the hay bales, figuring that if a car hit it, it would snap that off before it hurt the camera, and it did. It was engineering to overstate it.
and I don't know how the rest of it turned out, but I got to thank Fast Films and Special Electronics Group and Connects for trying to get us some great new video angles. And I know they did get one of the roof cameras working in the main event. I haven't seen the footage yet, but I'm excited to see all that and how that all turned out.
we started pitching some of those ideas and told them kind of what we had envisioned it working like. And Dave had some ideas, and he went to the drawing board, got together with you, and figured everything out. He came and he actually had the laptop with him, so he didn't even need us to have the VLR grab, and it worked out awesome. Having that roof camera and rolling that thing out in the feature, there was a lot of people that went into making that thing happen, and all that work paid off great. It was really, really cool to have that angle for the feature.
And we hope to get some more of those cameras made so we get one at least in every heat. That was the goal this time, but we had some issues early on. But again, thanks to Fast Films and all those guys for putting together the camera and the Jumbotron, and just awesome. It was an awesome show. I mean, it wasn't a derby; it was an event.
Yes,
it turned out to be great.
It was fantastic.
We even had Miss Candy Joe there visiting and sightseeing our state for the first time, and she couldn't believe what she was seeing. So it was good to have her out there on this side of the mountain.
That was a surprise when she sent us the message and said that she was coming out, and we were trying to figure out how she was going to get from the airport to the hotel. And then it ended up that the flights were going to align better if she traveled all day Saturday and just came out for the Derby. And she ended up coming up and hanging out on the trailer with us. Stayed there for the whole show. You know, had some good conversations with her, and she loved the view of the mountains. Man, it was spectacular.
Little bit of snow up there still. I mean, the morning started off a little cold and windy, but man, by 5 o'clock, it was perfect.
It could have snowed there that night on the ground at the track. It got cold late in the night. It got real cold late at night. Real cold.
Should have been there at 4 in the morning when I left.
No thanks. No thanks. We were just trying to get out of Denny's at that point. There was one person working, and they were very busy. But as a whole, now the attention is going to turn to for Stirrin Dirt Racing, the upcoming schedule. We'll take a quick look at what they've got in store. They've got the Wasatch Wipeout, which is due up next, the 28th and 29th at Heber City, Utah. That's the big two-day event. $84,000 to win at that one. September 9th is the best.
25 for first place. 76 cars limit. We've got about 15 spots left, so if anyone saw what they liked, it's going to be the same build rules, same tech crew, pretty much the same everything, other than we're going to go 2 days. Have a little more fun.
What else is going to be running on the card with that one?
We've got a stock truck heat. That'll be $5,000, 12-car limit, and a stock car heat, $5,000 limit, 12-car limit, and $5,000 to win in that one. And Friday night, we've added a mini car heat to that one also.
You guys don't do a whole lot with a compact division, but how did that compact division play out for you from your perspective that we saw on Saturday night? The Danny Ogden with his Corsica just sending haymakers going end to end.
Oh my God, he was just going nuts.
It was pretty cool to see.
He got done at the end, and he's like, "When's the next one? When's the next one?" All of them were like, "When's the next one?" I got it. I woke up Sunday morning, and I had 4 or 5 guys. I'm bringing 2 cars. When's the next class? So I think that one's going to take off pretty good for it.
And you did some interesting things with the purse on that. We talked a little bit about it on the live stream, but go into that a little bit again, and I guess this is an idea that you're going to carry over to other events as well.
Yeah, we actually even turned it over that way to the truck drivers also, but on the 4-wheel drive class, may not be new to you guys back east, but out here, it's the first time it's ever been done. And we took $3,000, $4,000, whatever it was, and we said, I only want 10 guys. We put them all on a group chat. So you guys discuss how you want to build them. We want to keep it at a stock build. And then you figure out how you want to pay it out. It's your money to do with what you want. You can pay it all out to one guy. You can split it evenly. You can do it first, second, third. We really don't care.
Right.
So what they did is we didn't even inspect the cars because they were talking to each other and, not knowing how to build them or what to do with them and keep them a stock one-timer, because out here those cars cost about $100.
Right.
So that's $100 to $300. They can have a stock built derby car and have some fun versus dumping a lot of cash into these other monster builds.
Right.
And at the end of the day, they determined I don't know how the math broke down, but each of them took $250 home, and then they split the rest first, second, and third.
And the The cars themselves, it was limited to 80s and newer, and it was limited also to front wheel drive, or could somebody bring a Fox body Mustang?
Nope, it was all limited to front wheel drive class only, 80s and newer. So the 4-inch wheelbase cars are gone, so we kind of moved it up to that 108, 109-inch wheelbase, which opens it up a lot more. So they've got some, after the show, they sat down, looked at the cars, how they bent, how they did, and they're going to do some more tweaks to what they can do to strengthen them and make sure they're going to last a little bit longer. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
There was only 9 cars out there, and that track looked so big when you had those cars with a much, much shorter wheelbase.
Yeah. And when they're going, and they went a lot faster than the minis. I'm sorry, they just seemed like they were just finding third gear.
Well, they had a lot more room to work with, proportionately. There was only 9 of them out there, and they were still catching each other against the berm. They were driving it with typical Utah style. Danny Ogden walking away with the Mad Dog Award in that class. The truck division.
After going over a roof, too.
Yes, yeah, he way up on a roof, way up there, and he drove off it. Didn't even have to stop. I thought he was going to get that rollover. He almost had it. The giving them the money and letting them distribute it as they wish. Is that going to happen with the truck division or any of the other divisions that are happening at Wasatch?
Yeah, we had a lot of talk with them on that because, as most of the promoters know, when you have a one-and-done filler heat, you're only getting, out here, we only get, 6 to 12 cars show up for that, and it's kind of hard to regulate. So what we've turned to them to, why don't you self-regulate yourselves? Because you're kind of your own unique group. There's the same 16 truck drivers are always there.
Right.
So why don't you guys self-police, self-write the rules, and tell us what you want? And if you say, hey, give us $10,000, we'll guarantee you 12 trucks. We'll inspect them. We'll be legal. And we said we'd be interested in anything like that. So,
is that going to extend to any of the other divisions as you get further if this is successful?
Not so much on the the main body. When you've got a full show and you've got 50, 60 cars. No, we'll keep the control of that. With one adaptation is the State Fair show, the new stadium with Days of Reckoning.
Mm-hmm.
We've got $54,000 in prize money there. We can only take 36 cars. I've already got 12 spots full. Going to be a stock build. And with 36 cars, I threw out the idea of, hey, you pass inspection, get your flag, you get $1,000 before you even go in the ring.
Just like that.
Then we could take the leftover and do $5,000 for Mad Dog, $4,000 for first, $2,000 for second, $1,000 for third. Or if they'd rather do $20,000 for first place and nothing else, we're gonna put a vote out on Facebook and see how that turns out. But I think there's a lot of guys that really like that. $1,000 just to show? Yeah, why not?
Why not? Why not, Ben?
Yeah, sounds good.
It's their money, it's their show. Without the drivers, we have nothing. So we want to take care of them, and if they can have a say-so in, a lot of these guys for us, for Stirrin, a lot of our drivers are from out of state. So getting $500, $250,000, that's gas money, hotel money. It makes the John across the mountains a little easier for him.
Sure. We talked a little bit about the trucks and the truck heat. Just as much carnage as anything else that was on the track. We had the one rollover, Paul Cox, Dan Bolton coming away with the win. In that one, there was some absolutely monstrous hits in there. It was I don't know how much different the outcome would have been if Derek and Tyson Shelley hadn't been pinned in the way that they were. We had one gentleman, and I'm remiss on his name. That was the pale blue truck. Scary fire in that one, pretty clean burning flames as Ben described it, and he was wearing a 5-point harness and he was a little slow to get out of the truck, but thankfully he was okay. He relayed a story that his wife was in a car and she was wearing 2 pairs of pants.
Yep. And
had a fire in her car, and the first layer of pants had melted to the second layer of pants, so he was wearing 2 shirts and 2 pairs of pants inside, and it probably saved him from getting some pretty serious burns. We had the rollover, and we had the one dude who ended up, he was boxing the Invisible Man when he came out. He got his bell rung a little bit, but for all intents, he was okay as well.
Shelley got a broken wrist. I think that was our major issue of the night. That was in the truck heat.
Oh, wow.
He did Paul Cox head on, And Paul said I watched his hand come right through the steering wheel and his thumb hooked.
Oh.
And, yeah, so he was done.
Yeah, that's
So
unfortunate.
as a lesson, guys, thumbs outside the wheel.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a lot of solid steering wheels out there? I didn't even think to really look at that. I didn't. Nothing stands out as yes.
There's only a handful of dude. I know I'm one because I've jammed my thumbs more than once, and I run the solid wheels now, so you can't, get inside there. And even if I run a stock car where it's a stock steering wheel, I'll tape them off.
Right. You ever do that before, Ben?
A lot of comments to the tech crew. Everyone loved the techs. I mean, not everybody, but most part, everybody liked the guys that came out. So I appreciate and give. And when we brought Richard from Washington, and Dale from Montana, Ben from Buffalo, Bobby from Illinois, Skinny, Kansas, Butch from Logan. So we had guys from all over the nation who have seen and done a lot of stuff over derbies over the years. So it was a great collaboration of how we did it. And how we did our Q&A, I thought, was unique to this show. As drivers called into us, they'd pose a question. As officials, we'd have a meeting, usually once a week or in the beginning, a little slower as it slowed down. And we would post the question and the ruling and email it out to all the drivers, so all the drivers had the same question in front of them, answered the same way. So they kind of knew what they could do and couldn't do across the board and not show up and say, well, if I had known I could do that. So, Ben's there, and I think Ben can comment that I heard nothing but good things about doing a Q&A session that way. So
We did have a question specifically for Ben come in. Jeff at Overkill had a question about, I want to make sure I word it correctly. Let's see. Ask why.
The rules weren't perfect. They never are. So we've got some tweaking, and we are going to
Oh
be
no, I
clarifying some of that stuff. So
I have.
It was for all it could be. It was really good.
Yeah. Well, I had a chance to think about his question, the issue he had all through the flight. And
the question posed was why a radiator support has a body mount if it's not a body part.
Okay, my question, my answer to him was, okay, if you want to classify that core support mount as a body mount, then next time have a 1/2-inch bolt in it instead of your 1-inch all thread that's supposed to go through the radiator support. So it was a dual classified situation. He wanted to classify it as a core support radiator support mount so he could run his 1-inch all thread through it.
Right.
But yet he wanted to do another thing because he was saying it was a body mount.
Right.
So basically pick a definition, basically. So I thought about that.
For sure, the rule needs to be clarified a lot
Yeah,
better for our inspectors and our drivers. At the end of the day, it makes it easier.
Honestly, there really wasn't a lot of issues, and you're not, you're doing a good job in tech when there is some people that are upset because you're going to have so many different. They're spending 6 months in their head convincing themselves that their definition of that rule is right, and you spend 30 seconds telling them, no, that's not right. So you're going to be a little upset after all that thought process, and then somebody just saying, no, that's not the way it is.
One of the things
the question and answer thing, like Johnny said, that is the greatest thing since sliced bread, I think, because it eliminates a lot of the BS, which it did.
But I think what it got rid of is, Johnny said I could do it, or Gumby said I could do it, or Ben could do it. All we did as a group is we wrote the question down, sent it to each other, discussed it, and then we answered it as a group. Some of us didn't like the answers, the majority won.
Yep.
And it made it really good. And then the night before the show, we all sat down and did another powwow just to make sure, hey, when the day of comes, let's make sure we're on the same page.
Yep.
And I mean, it was a long tech. It was a very thorough tech. We even started the show almost 40 minutes late, Chris?
It was a little late, but I mean it wasn't anything that we couldn't handle. I let the Power Wheels kids go a little bit longer too, which was cool for them. The thing that I liked coming out of tech inspection was there was a couple guys that got hot, real hot, which think our phone must have died.
Shit.
Somebody's phone died.
Yeah.
That thing just
I don't know where I got left
sold
off
out.
at, but I just think it was a great way to handle it, and I think we're going to fine-tune that a little more next time. Instead of doing email, I think we'll do a private Facebook page
Yep.
to the drivers that are signed up,
Yep.
because we had some people say, well, I don't get email or I don't do this. Everybody seems to have Facebook.
One of the things that I like coming out of tech inspection was the guys that got hot and got upset. A couple of times were just very calmly told, hey, nobody's swearing at you. Nobody's yelling at you. Don't yell at us. And it came back from being something that was bordering on, one or two people getting out of control, that everything was settled back down. And ultimately, everybody was given the opportunity to make changes so that they could run.
No matter what, everybody, unless it was totally unfixable, everybody got an option. And that's the way it should be. I mean, you can't just come in there and just 100% not work with anybody and say, no, this is the way it is. There's nothing you can do, and just do it or not. Do it or get put on a trailer. You're not going to have drivers doing that. And like Johnny commented, the group of guys, tech guys that were there, made the day pass that much faster. Yes, we did run a little bit late, but then you get the guys that waited out. They got the guys that always waited out and see what the other guys are cutting, to see what they're going to do, when they pull in the tech line. But my thought process on that is, if the show's got to wait 20 minutes, a half hour to make it consistent and fair for everybody to go through that goes through the inspection line, then that's the way it should be.
I want to reiterate, Jeff at Overkill is not upset.
Oh, no, he's not mad.
He's having good fun.
I talked to him quite a bit, and I talked to him at Blizzard Bash a couple times, and he's a real cool dude. Similar personalities. I mean, he gets a little wound tight. I get a little wound tight.
I assume Jeff's listening, so this is from Dalton, Jeff, because he does not have your number. In the main event, you tried knocking him free at the end twice. He very much appreciates it and will return the favor when possible.
Yep.
Who ended up getting he should have been in the hunt for Mad Dog for sure. Mm-hmm. If he wasn't, I missed some of those handing out of those awards on track. Who ended up getting the Mad Dog award?
41. I sent you a link to the list.
Okay.
Got Kyle Mendez, the guy who ran by himself, won the heat by himself.
Oh, it was the guy from Canada.
He took runner-up, and then 41 was
Lacey
Johnson, was it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Got the Mad Dog, and that was done through the vote, through our anonymous movie experts in the crowd that we picked out, and through the officials voting. So there was a three-way vote, and 41 was a unanimous,
right?
With Mendez being a second. And then we even thought the 83 car, the gray wagon, I think he was from Arizona, he actually drove his ass off, and we gave him a free ride into next year's
May
Mania show. So
very cool.
Yeah.
That was just a side note that nobody knew we did. So
that's awesome.
And then we also, as Ben knows, we had two teams pass tech the very first time.
Yep.
And we gave them free rides in the next May show also for passing tech.
I got the name J.C. Lawrence. J.C. Lawrence is the number 41 that won that.
Nice.
So that's fantastic. Johnny, man, congratulations on an awesome show. I know you had a ton of people out there that were helping you. I know that you guys learned a lot from your tech staff. I know Gumby learned a lot from the tech staff. And
Gumby's scarred for life.
But we won't go into that.
No.
He's scarred for life.
Has he come home from church yet?
I think he's still in the repent booth. But anyone interested in getting into Wasatch Wipeout, like I said, spots are limited and they are filling. Give me a call if you have any questions. You can join us at www.stirrindirtracing.com to get signed up. It's all ready to go, as well as the day of reckoning. So we're good.
Another quick
Thanks,
look.
guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
and tell Josh, thank you for my mustard.
We'll relay the message.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks, guys. Talk to you in a bit.
Thanks a
All
lot.
right,
See ya.
See ya.
There goes Johnny Gullo. Once again, Stirrin Dirt Racing, upcoming events. Talked about the Wasatch Wipeout coming up at Heber City, Utah on the 28th and 29th. September the 9th, West Jordan Beatdown in West Jordan, Utah. Iron Trucks, Farm Trucks, Passenger Derby, $30,000 purse there. Day of Reckoning, that is the all-new venue being built at the Utah State Fairgrounds in Salt Lake City. That's September the 16th. October the 7th, Halloween Havoc, Run What You Brung, and the Pit Party coming up there. Bash for Cash, that is the next one on deck for us. Bash for Cash is going to be at the Ross County Fairgrounds in Chillicothe, Ohio. Online, smashitdemo.com. It's May 26th, 27th, 28th. 80s newer turn back the clock division. Compacts are paying $10,000 as along with both of those other classes. Weekend passes are $75. Kids 6 to 14 are $30. Sunday single day passes are $30. Smash It is also going to be giving away Baldwin engines at Blizzard Bash 2017. Compact drivers are going to be eligible with 5 tickets for a Baldwin 3.1. All full-size drivers are going to be eligible with 5 tickets for a Baldwin 355. Tickets will not be sold to the public. A little bit later on, we're going to be talking to our buddy Matt Vern Newcomb. He's working with Chad Bumgarner on this show, the Midwest Smash Fest, July the 15th in Geneva, Nebraska. First car is only 2-man teams, $125,000 in purse guaranteed, $20,000 for first, $15,000 for second, $13,000, $11,000, $10,000 to the top 5. Huge show. Jump online. If you just punch in Midwest Crash Fest or Crash Fest Express Promotions, it all comes right up on the website. Chad Bumgarner. He can be reached by phone 402-759-2583. Spinning Wheels Productions. They've got a show coming up here in about 4 weeks. Spring Fling is on deck for them. They've already wrapped up the FTR show up at the Boonville Oneida Fairgrounds. Here we go. Spinning Wheels Productions, June 17th, Spring Fling at the Otsego County Fairgrounds in Morris. Limited welds, $1,200 to win. Economy V8s, economy compacts, and trucks. That's the show that Paul Cox is coming out for, right?
Absolutely.
And he's bringing a buddy.
Oh, he's bringing a buddy?
Was it? I can't remember the guy's name. He's got everybody has nicknames. I can never remember them. And it looks like Jeremy Gully is donating one of his trucks
For his buddy to drive.
for Paul's buddy to drive.
Nice.
So they're both going to be out there
Nice.
on track. Josh is bringing a pile of trucks out there, so it's going to be a fun one out there at the Otsego County Fairgrounds. Back at the Otsego County Fair, August 3rd and 5th in Morris. August 4th is the Wayne County Fair in Honesdale. August 25th, GDS Fair in Newfoundland, Pennsylvania. September 30th, the big one, San Filippo Smash at the Otsego County Fairgrounds. That show on a new date this year so that he can accommodate a wedding on the weekend that he initially wanted to have that done. So we got Stirrin Dirt, Midwest Smash Fest, Bash for Cash, and Spinning Wheels. So we got a couple more drops that we'll do a little bit later in the show. I got to get Tim Clark on the phone to talk a little bit about the Bash for Cash. They have set a new record in terms of their entries, and they've also got I don't if you can believe that they're getting bigger as we go.
Oh, yeah.
And then also he's got they're selling some shirts too that we'll talk to him about. But I wasn't sure if I was going to see you.
I had to work late, and then I had to meet a friend of mine about, we got all this house stuff going on, so I had to meet him, and that was when he's available. So I was hoping Brian was going to be here because I'm the delivery guy for his cookies.
You're still riding around with those cookies?
Well, I just got them yesterday. They were in Josh's car. So
I thought you guys had done that drop already.
No.
Hey, can I put you in? It's funny, we're actually staying right on schedule. I told Tim we would talk to him at 6:30, and it just clicked on to 6:30.
That worked good.
Hey.
That worked good.
I'll take it. Tim, how are you?
All right, great. How are you guys?
We're doing okay. How's Russ doing?
Oh, he's doing great. I mean, the best he can be doing for right now. I mean, that chemo is kind of getting built up in him, so he's pretty weak right now, but one more week and then chemo's over with. So
That's awesome. Got to say hi to Greg Elser, and he is a heck of a guy to travel with.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Phoenix Airport will never be the same.
Nope.
I know he said he was going to be watching. Chris Polly just checked in. He said that the new studio looks good. He didn't know apparently that we moved. But yes, we've moved, celebrating birthdays at Bash for Cash. It's going to be a fun time when we get out there. Tim, I saw your post about setting a record. So you have gone over the 550 mark at this point?
yeah, we're over a little over 550.
and car count for the 3 days.
So that's before you count lawnmowers and before you count Power Wheels.
Before I count lawnmowers and Power Wheels, because I don't even take them entries until that day, so I won't even know them. So
That'd be 600.
Yeah. Oh
it
my
should
God.
be crazy.
You're going to have 100 Power Wheels.
Yeah.
I hope not, but I mean, you never know.
It's a lot of balloons to blow up. But it's on deck. It's 2 weeks away. Are you ready?
I think so. That's what I'm doing tonight is getting things ready, getting some stuff loaded up, and because I'll leave probably Monday morning. I'll just move down there and stay for the whole week trying to get the fairgrounds done. But it's going to be a busy time.
Saw you were down there doing some track maintenance. Is the track a little bit bigger this year?
It's longer. It's a little narrower because we stayed out that swell where it doesn't dip down.
Sure.
It's about 80 feet wide and 200 feet long.
Shit, go another 100.
So
Go another 100?
I wish I could go a little wider, but the way that fairgrounds is set up, there's a little water swale, and
Yeah.
we got out of that last year and made the track bigger. But then when the monsoon came, then it was a monsoon, waterfall down through there. So I'm just trying to be prepared if something does happen crazy.
Right.
You always go longer. Go 300-400 feet.
Well, I can go longer. There's no question about that. But right now I capped it at 200. So I thought, man, 200's pretty long. So, but it's going to be a great time. I think it's going to be some hard-hitting, crazy action, and I think everybody's going to be happy.
Well, how can you not? I mean, it's such a good show year in and year out. It's I was talking with Skinny about Bash for Cash, and he goes, it's just 24 hours derby. You start on Thursday and you don't stop until Sunday, and usually Sunday spills almost into Monday.
Right.
Well, I hope not. I'm planning on to having everything done Sunday by 10:30. Then I can relax and maybe have a beer or two.
It's good to have goals.
Yep. Just start.
Goals in life,
Start relaxing at 10:30, and then when the derby's over, then you'll be already relaxed.
Yeah, Sunday's going to be a packed day, that's for sure.
Yeah.
With all the heats going on Sunday, it's going to be a busy day. That'll be a major derby day.
But that's what everybody comes for.
Yeah.
Well, I think so.
I'm here to tell you, if you're not tired of derbies after that weekend, you must have been sleeping.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I mean,
And that's the start for the year. You guys have 42.
Reaction.
You still have 42 dates after that.
Yeah, pretty much. It takes me about a week after that to show and to get revived, wanting to do something. Now with Russ being down, it's probably going to take me 2 weeks. So, I think it'll be great.
Off the top of your head, I've never asked you this question, but we always talk about how cool it is that the 80s class, the Turn Back the Clock Old Iron class, and the Compact class are all paying $10,000. That means 3 drivers are walking away with a combined $30,000 each. But I've never asked you, what is the total purse for that? Because you don't just pay the winners of each division. You guys pay back a little ways. And
We pay back 10 spots for each one of them divisions. I think, off the top of my head, with every class that we got going on, it's over $100,000 that weekend. I don't want to say a figure because I'm not for sure, truly for sure, but because we even put more money into the purse this year.
Right.
Because all the filler classes are getting paid $2,000 to win, and last year was $1,000 to win. So it's over $100,000 weekend to win money.
And then you guys have also injected some more money into the purse and at Blizzard Bash, I see.
Yep, we put more money into the purse at Blizzard Bash, to keep that thing going, and did some things that to help the drivers out, maybe help them, making them happy and all that good stuff. So we're giving a couple motors away out there. I like to find a nice driver that do a raffle, but man, you can't find a good, decent driver.
Give Dave Cotter a call.
I guess I'm being picky.
Call Dave Cotter.
I like to get a car and raffle off out there too. So, but I don't know. I'm trying.
You got time, but you're
call Dave Cotter up. He just picked up a showroom Buick Estate wagon.
gorgeous. Black wood grain down the side.
Black
But,
wood
you know,
grain.
if a Derby driver has it, they want $13,000 for it.
Well, yeah, definitely, because that's
So
close to what he paid for it.
It's hard,
Yeah.
you know, but it's going to be a packed, crazy weekend, that's for sure. I mean, you know, with the Bash for Cash, it's going to be unbelievable. I mean, I don't know of any other show this year will have that kind of car count. I mean, I'm not for sure of any other thing going like that, so it'll be crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Golf cart rentals would be over the top.
Yeah, I mean, I had to go to the golf cart thing. I mean, it got a little crazy last year in the pits and camping and
Yep.
at the end of the night, you know.
It always.
The police department down there, they're pretty strict,
Yep.
you know, so some people hates me over the golf cart thing, and, you know, some people's liking it, so
Well,
can't make everybody happy, but I want people to come for a derby. I don't want this derby turned into a party.
right.
I mean, you know, this is a derby. This ain't no party.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, I mean, I know you're going to party at the end of the night and have a good time, but I don't want people known Bash for Cash for a big party.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. Well, there's always. They should feel fortunate, because the other option is to use your own 2 feet the whole weekend.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you're definitely working with them. So that's and it comes to a point, like you said, it comes to a point that you have to do something, because it's not just in derbies, it's in any major event like that people tend to migrate to their to their four-wheelers themselves and their side-by-sides, and then it just turns into a hoopty, and then everybody reels it back. So
The facilities.
it's nothing unusual.
The facility's so big that you have to have some mode of transportation, because you wouldn't.
it's a big fairgrounds. You have to have, you know, if you're a big fat guy like me, you have to have something to drive you around. That's for sure. You know.
You have to be in a lot of places too. It's a long time to walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of walking. I mean, there's no question about that.
Yeah.
No. So
Well,
it's going to be jam packed. It's going to be a great show.
Well, Tim, man, it's always good to catch up with you. Look forward to catching up with you here in a couple of weeks. Congratulations on breaking the record. I'm confident next year we're going to be having a similar conversation about a month before the show about how you broke another record. Before we let you,
I really don't want to go, dude. I keep telling Russ we have to go 4 days, but it's hard to get people even 3 days to come out for action like that. But we gotta stop somewhere. You know.
Before we let you go, though, I know that you guys are doing some shirts. I wanted to find out some more information on those and let people know if they haven't seen the post.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, Russ is going to kill me, but I mean, we never really wanted to do anything for Russ. We wanted to do it for cancer, but then a couple of my buddies got with me and designed a shirt for something like Frank the Tank, and Russ always had Frank the Tank on his derby cars, so I got a couple, you know, and he always loved Imperials, so got one printed up. I'm going to have some shirts there with that logo on it. We're going to sell, and then I'm going to give Russ all the money for doctor bills, so, you know, he's going to kill me when he finds out, but oh well. I mean,
That
if
seems
it
like
wasn't for him, I could never do it, and that's for sure.
yeah.
I mean, this year is crazy. People don't understand when you're trying to organize this whole thing by yourself now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
I'm gonna try and show everybody. Here's a look at it. There's a look at the design that's on it. Crashing for a Cause. There's the Imperial sitting on the front, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll be a great thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to have so many of them while the supplies last. It'll be there for everybody to get. After that, it'll be done, you know. So,
Right.
But
Well, awesome. Look Tim up on Facebook if you want more information on the shirts. Of course, you can get those at Bash for Cash. Going to a great cause, and wish Russ again, you know, continued good health and good spirits, and always good to talk with you. And we'll probably catch up with you again next week because it's only a couple days away.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, when you guys are coming down, what, Saturday?
We're going to get in. If we get in Friday, it'll be late Friday, but most likely it'll be Saturday during the day.
All right, I'll keep in touch with you. So
All right.
We'll be talking.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
We'll see you later.
See you, Tim.
Bye.
There goes Tim. A couple more read-throughs. We talked a little bit about this a minute ago. Something that everybody's paying attention to. Blizzard Bash 2017, November 9th to the 13th at the Kansas Expo Center. We talked about money getting injected to that thing and some serious payouts for the national draw. November the 10th is qualifying for the national and qualifying team brackets. The heats are that night. Friday, November 11th, the RC Derby's happening all day. National and qualifying team round 2. And the 14 to 17-year-old youth division on deck then. Twin Bill on Saturday the 12th, 10 o'clock start time for the compact and limited well team round 1 events, 6 o'clock start for the second half. Power Wheels, all the Team B mains, trucks, youth, and bone stock. Championship Sundays on deck at 1 o'clock. National qualifying, limited well, and compact team A mains for that one. We're going to be talking with Dustin Anderson, I believe, next Monday. We're going to be catching up with him about this Saturday, June the 10th, Mandan Team Show. We're going to be back on pay-per-view, back on Derby Nation. We've already we traded some messages back and forth about some stuff that we're going to. And right now, we're on top of the world. Everything works. So we're going to try and complicate it more when we go up to Mandan and see what we can accomplish up there. Ken Hoff's in charge of it, 701-391-6211. Mandan Team Derby, Dakota Speedway, Mandan, North Dakota on Long Spurn Trail. Looking forward to that. You missed the beginning, Ben. I made mention, and we'll hit it again while we've got the opportunity here before we get Matt Vern Newcomb on the line. Appreciation from Crash Course and Derby Nation for the post that some folks were looking for free versions of May Mania, and we had a lot of support from the Derby community saying, don't do that, don't do it, and that's awesome. I'd like to see that more across the board, regardless of who's doing the pay-per-view. It was good to see that support, and we greatly appreciate that bit of respect that they gave us.
Well, yeah, and I mean, there's going to be a large mix. I mean, there's still going to be free ones, I'm sure, and then you're going to have your pay-per-view ones, and for the amount the pay-per-view is, you really, it's not like ordering a Merriweather fight, It's, you pay $60 for one round, so it's you get a lot of bang for your buck, and that's what keeps the motor rolling pretty much. I mean, doesn't the old saying goes, the car don't run on air.
That's right. It doesn't run on air.
It doesn't run on air.
You got to find an air salesman.
Yeah, I know a couple. This has to be cleaner.
King of the Ring's coming up on Saturday in York, Nebraska. We're trying to get Matt Vern Newcomb on the line. There's Matt. We're going to put him right in.
Put me in? Okay, good.
Yep. There's Matt right there. Matt, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We're doing okay. The King of the Ring event, unique event with all those fresh cars going in at one time. They run it about halfway through, flag it, clear off all the dead cars, and make them finish after that. And there's no necessarily qualifying heats or anything like that. It's a unique format for that event, and it all goes down Saturday.
That is correct. This Saturday night, it's all starting at 7 p.m.
How late does that go?
In the past couple years, we get started right at 7, and we see round 1 typically last about an hour.
Yeah.
And then we pull them off the track, and once we know we got the top 30 cars all pulled off the track and in their designated pit area, then we blow the whistles and let them start making the repairs, and they have a 45-minute timed pit repair session.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time we get them back on the track at that 45-minute mark, and the feature lasted, I think last year, an hour and 11 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Looking at about a 3-hour show.
And there's no preliminary one-and-dones or anything? It's just that is the draw. That's the show.
That's correct. We run everybody through inspection. They go make their repairs if they had any. They get a 30-minute window to make the repairs and get back for re-inspection, and then they go direct to impound.
Mm-hmm.
So cars are locked in impound all day long while we're inspecting cars, and then we have our driver's meeting and let them get their cars out. And when we have our driver's meeting, we call their names off and draw their sticks, and on the stick is a designation of where they actually have to park on the track. That way, if there's some groups of guys with 5 or 6 buddies that are kind of on their side, we try to make sure they're split up across the track, and they have to kind of fight their way through it to keep it as fair for maybe the guy that only has one buddy or no buddies. So,
right.
Is it capped at 60 cars? I remember reading Scott Lucas did an article. Is it capped at 60, or if you get 75, will all 75 go to the ring?
Nope, we have a 60-car limit. We capped it off at that. And I think currently right now as it stands, we had a couple people back out. I think we're sitting at right at 58 cars still planning on coming.
That's
awesome. Yeah, it's a real cool thing. I mean, it sounds awesome. It's like a huge one and done, really.
Yeah.
And
it is. It's and if you think about it, guys, you go on the track for round 1 and you run for a full hour, and now you gotta bust your butt and make your repairs in 45 minutes and then get right back to the track. I mean, it's kind of like a marathon in a way behind the wheel. You got to be in somewhat good shape, or you're going to be completely exhausted before you get done with round 1. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ben, I mean, think of the adrenaline dumps.
I honestly don't know how they do it.
As a driver, Ben, you've gone through this. You've gone out there for a feature that lasts a little bit longer. You're all amped up when you start, but then you get the adrenaline dump. You're going to go through 2 or 3 of those. I mean, you're going to be exhausted by the time you're done. You're
going to, like he said, you're going to be wiped out. I mean, definitely got to work on. You definitely got to have a good crew. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, you got to rely on your crew.
You guys have done this a couple times now. What was the craziest amount of repairs that you've ever seen take place in the pits? Has anybody tried to do something crazy? I doubt they could do a motor swap. I mean, maybe they could, but I was thinking transmissions or axles are pretty quick and easy. But what's the craziest thing you've seen in the pits?
We saw a guy last year literally rolled his car clear over on his side, and I honestly don't know what they were doing under that thing, if they just found an easy way to weld some repair plates on or what, but I have not seen anybody change a tranny or a rear end or a motor yet. But it could have happened and I maybe didn't know. I mean, these guys do have very talented crews that help them out, and they are very organized, so I'm going to say anything's possible when it comes to that. But we've seen guys, poop out their slider because their rear end third member, just exploded and stuff like that. And obviously, at that point, it usually takes them completely out of competition because, you only get that one chance, like you said, to make the feature, or you don't. So,
right. You alluded to the repair plates. How many do they get per side?
So they do get 4 1/8-inch repair plates per side. They're limited to like a 5x6, 1/8-inch thick repair plate, and they can put them on the frame rail. They have to be on the frame rail. They can't get creative with the plate, shaping them and creasing them and stuff like that. But they can bend them at a 90 if they want to catch a little bit of the plate on the top side of the frame and bend it around to the side. And our definition of a frame needing repairs is once it's flaked rust or paint, then the frame we know is beginning to bend, so we'll let them plate at that point in time.
Interesting. I mean, your wheels spinning over there?
Oh yeah, I know exactly every place I played it. I take it, So you definitely guys that run similar to the same car makes every time. I mean, they know exactly. That takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. They know exactly. And I shouldn't say exactly. They know very closely where they're going to put them plates. So it's no guesswork. They're going to just bam, one there, and then maybe there'll be another one. Other ones might go somewhere else if something got funky. But yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's really an awesome setup and a great, unique show, I think, and that'd be something to go see.
At risk of asking a silly question, do you guys provide your own plates?
Do we provide our own what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch
that. Your repair plates. Are you hand them out?
Oh, nope, we don't. We just put the size limits in there, and that's what we expect. And we know that there probably are some guys buying the higher strength steel, but at the end of the day, you're only limited to so many repair plates, and you get too strong in certain areas, it just makes a new weak spot somewhere else. So,
Sure.
So that's kind of why we are with that.
It's cool. It's good logic. I mean, you can
100%. I mean,
reinforce it all you want. Something else is going to break behind it.
Well, and the big thing, too, is we do require a 1-inch hole in each repair plate, and they cannot plug weld the plate to the frame. And they cannot weld the 1-inch hole. We've seen it all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I'm a driver myself, so I know and understand those things. But, yeah, there's things people think of that you as a driver for 25 years, you'd be like, how come I never thought of that?
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so they can come in with them pre-bent and everything else. It's just they have to be a certain size.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. That's cool.
Well, I hope everybody's safe. Is there anybody that you want to make mention of that's helping out with the show?
Yeah, actually, I just looked today. You know, and we still actually have drivers from 9 different states coming. The states that are competing are North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wyoming, Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma. And we did have an Iowa driver signed up that had to back out, unfortunately, a while back. And we did have a guy from Tennessee signed up that had to back out. There are several drivers that have been a part of the show, whether they competed all 3 years in a row. Dylan Caranda from Nebraska, Dylan Steinacher, Jared Haas has signed up for it twice and built a raffle car 1 year. Casey Caranda, 3 years. Carl Neville, 3 years. Shelby Schroeder, 3 years. Joe Brown, Kansas boy, 3 years. Tyke Miller, Nebraska guy. Casey Van Bunning, Caleb Kuhlman, all Nebraska guys. This is their 3rd year. Josh Schultz, 3rd year. Curtis Dittmer from Lynn, Kansas. He's a long-time veteran driver. This is his 3rd year. He actually was runner-up a year ago. Skylar McLean, Nebraska. Curtis's son, Dawson, who was a previous champ of King of the Ring. This will be his 3rd year. Shane Rippon, this will be his 3rd year, and he's previous champ. Nick Jacobitz. So a lot of good drivers coming in again, and got some new ones. Have Andy Hansen still coming back again this year from Minnesota, and Brad Shillowart. North Dakota's brand new to our show this year. Shea Walden and Nathan Crump and Dookie are coming down to run.
Oh, boy.
A couple father-son deal from South Dakota. That's a new state for us this year coming down to run. They do a show up there called the River City Rumble. Mike and Ty Michaelik from South Dakota, and Colorado was a new state, so some guys out west coming in. The Wyoming boys are coming back for their 2nd year, so we're excited. It should be a great show. Really, really should be.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sounds like it.
Well, wish you the best, man. It was good talking with you, and we'll see you in about 2 months. We're out there in Geneva, Nebraska for the Midwest Smash Fest.
Absolutely, guys, and I wouldn't be right of me if I left the phone conversation without thanking our corporate sponsor, DerbyParts.com, our main corporate sponsor of King of the Ring 2017. Guys, they'll be vending some parts there at the show. I talked to Jerry Mueller, the owner of DerbyParts.com, tonight for a little bit. He's going to have some combo brake gas pedal setups there, individuals. He's got an LS cradle, a brand spanking new cradle that he wants to bring and vend that he says meets my rules, so I'll have to inspect that, make sure. He was kind of a chuckle over the phone. He's going to be offering some 550, 15-inch forklift skid steer or forklift tires up there, and he's got some kind of brand new shifter he's offering for $175. But if you guys want to check out his website, go to derbyparts.com. He has a huge assortment of parts, anything and everything almost that you would like. So
awesome.
I'm
glad you landed a big sponsor like that, and again, good luck this weekend. Hope everybody stays safe.
Yeah, thank you guys, and have a great week, and good luck with your shows. We'll see you at Geneva this summer.
We'll see you soon. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
There goes Matt Vern Newcomb. And we got enough power left in the battery. I think we'll be able to do this.
No, that sounds like a pretty awesome show. Unique setup, and he run that at the same time every year.
Yes, he does.
Well,
thinking what I'm thinking?
That'll have to be a bucket list show for me.
How many states can you squeeze into a month if you just go travel on weekends? About 4, right?
Yeah, unless they're real close by.
Right. Yo, let me put you in real quick. And our final guest of the night, just about out of time, but I wanted to get a hold of him. Skinny, how are you?
Hey, buddy, how are you guys?
That's all.
We're doing okay. How's your trip home?
Good, bud. It was long, short of sleep, but I rested in. I actually slept in this morning and felt good.
What time did you end up getting up?
10 o'clock.
Oh,
Good for
that'd be
you.
nice.
Good for you.
Yeah, I was up at 4:30.
But,
We had an early flight out yesterday, so we didn't get much sleep after ending that show at midnight.
Got a chance to hang out with Skinny for a little while. Got to fly with him. That was a learning experience, to say the least. What'd you think of May Mania?
I loved it, bud. It was a great show. What a great show, hard-hitting show. I'm looking at all the photos and the videos today, and it was just one of the best I've been to yet. I can say that for hitting. Oh, my God. You guys saw it. What, you know?
You and Ben seem to get along pretty well in the inspection line, and Johnny talked a little bit earlier when we had him on the phone that you guys are going to be together for it sounds like it's the rest of the schedule.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He said that.
If he needs me, like I told him, I'll be there for him. End of July is actually the family reunion for Tori Schute's parents. Are together for 70 years, and I'm Ben because you got to be in Utah that weekend or be at the family reunion. And I told Gullo, you need me, I'll be there, buddy. So I will be in Utah most likely in July.
So he said it's going to be the same tech crew all year long. So I'm only going off of that. So, but I mean, you guys certainly set a nice standard out there at that, and I understand you're not going to be around Memorial Day weekend. You've got some plans already, but what else have you got in terms of your schedule?
Metal Mayhem is up next for me, bud. I'll be at Mayhem, and then I think after Mayhem, I am just gonna take it easy.
Yeah.
Take it easy the rest of the year for Derby.
How'd those tacos settle?
Overpriced and junk. Manager. Sucked.
I don't even remember what that restaurant was called.
$14 tacos. How about it? You know, then you can't even eat the things.
No, never again.
No, hard pass.
I totally agree. We're better off to just get up and go on down the road there and eat chips and jerky.
Yep. That's the way to go. There's nothing better than a bag full of dried meat to get you through a weekend.
Yeah, how about it, bud? It was definitely a good time, and I had a great time with all you guys. It was nice to hang for once one-on-one with everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a blast, man.
Well, we're going to be out there again a little bit more through the course of the year, and hopefully the schedule aligns. If nothing else, at least we catch up with you when we are out there in October for Halloween Havoc, because there's a heck of a pit party that happens after that one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I got to get out there. Like I said, I've only been out there for Hot Rock and Fourth, and this was my first May Mania, and I really enjoyed it from both sides. Awesome.
I know you got a busy night ahead of you. You got all sorts of stuff planned over there at the house. I don't want to keep you. We're running right out of time, but I wanted to give you a call and just say hi. It was good to see you again, and we look forward to catching up with you soon.
All right, Chris, Ben, you guys take care, and we'll talk to you.
We'll see you later.
Skinny.
Later, guys.
Later, man.
There goes Greg Elster. I was hard pressed to make the decision. Do we ask him what he taught everybody through the weekend, or do we just leave it go? Opted to just leave it go.
Yeah, you want this? you actually want this show on Finger Lakes One TV, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we've accomplished it right now.
Yeah.
Just about.
So no sense of ruining it.
Just about out of time.
Because that's definitely an R-rated conversation.
Oh man.
Borderline non-rated.
Yeah, okay.
So
let's just cap it right there. Oh, that's going to do it for this one. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. The support that we had for May Mania was awesome. We're going to be out at Bash for Cash in a couple weeks. Derby Nation going to be airing that one. Derby T's crew has Bash for Cash on lockdown, so they'll be all ready to bring all the angles and all the action from the Ross County Fairgrounds in Chillicothe. We'll be out there meeting and greeting everybody, doing a little bit of live stream stuff on our own, nothing with the cars, just some interviews from the pits. In terms of our travel, thanks a lot to Johnny, Candace, all the guys that made May Mania possible. Thanks for the guests coming on the show tonight. That's going to do it for this one. 180's in the books. We'll see you right back here again next Monday.
Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirrin Dirt Racing, hosts of May Mania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirrindirtracing.com.
Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel, and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.